Hey, NerdSing here, and this video is all about productivity. Now, if you are struggling to keep up with to-do lists, you've got multiple to-do lists on different apps, or people ask you, can you make it to this event? And then that day all of a sudden comes around and you just completely forgot about it. Or somebody sends you an email, it's got really important information in it, and you just don't know where to capture it, and then it just gets lost, then this video is for you. I'm going to give you 3 tips to basically organize your whole life. This is the beginning of a series. If you guys like this video, then I'll make more on how to get your life organized in 3 simple steps. Let's get started. So, tip number 1. Whatever happens in your life that requires an action, capture it. Okay, and this is where people then get a bit lost, and this is what this video is really about. So there's 3 ways you can capture information, and this is how I do it. And I've been doing this for many years, and then when I started actually doing research on this, it turns out it very much follows the GTD method, the Getting Things Done by David Allen. So if you want to learn more about this, you can read his book or his content online. Let's start with to-do lists. So if you have something that you have to do, whether it's today or tomorrow, this week, whatever time scale, capture it in a to-do list. This video isn't so much about what app to use. You can use the Apple To-Dos, you can use Google Reminders, you can use Wunderlist. There's so many out there. My only advice is pick one, and pick one that you can access on all devices that you use in your life. So for example, I'm in the Apple ecosystem, so I use Apple Reminders. That means I can use it on my iPhone, my iPad, my Mac, my phone. I can even tell Siri whilst I'm driving, I can press and hold that button on my watch, remind me at 3 p.m. to make that call, and it's captured there. And there's the next tip, that when you make a to-do, it must have a date on it, a deadline. Otherwise, it's just information that I need to do this at some point. And so that's not really a to-do, that's just an idea that's captured, which really should go in a separate pot of information, which you could call information rather than a to-do. And I use an app called Evernote. Evernote is my favorite app, man. If I was stuck on a desert island and I could only take one app with me, it would be Evernote. Anyway, I digress. Evernote is an app where you can capture notes. You have different notebooks, and then in a designated notebook, then you can create a note. A note has tags. You can then, inside that note, you can have voice notes, you can draw, you can write things, you can insert pictures, attachments, and then you can share those notes, or you can share a whole notebook with someone. You can collaborate. Evernote cannot express the virtues of that app. That's the place. It doesn't have to be Evernote if you don't want to use that. Again, OneNote, you can use Google Docs, but my experience of Evernote is awesome. So you got your to-dos in one place, where that's something that's time dependent. Then you have information. So tip number 2 is that any information that you have, whether that's an email that you want to capture, or some meeting minutes, or some ideas you have for a project you're working on, or a list of information, then that would go into that app. And then the way that you name those notes, the way that you tag them, you can find all that information in that one application. And again, just like the to-dos, hopefully if you find the app that's just right for you, say for example Evernote, it's available on all devices, and even if I wanted to change to Android in the future, then Evernote would still be available to me. The third thing is things that are events, and these would go into a calendar app. Now my preferred calendar app is Google Calendar, and that's because it works across all the platforms. Found it to be quite powerful. I'm not stuck in the Apple ecosystem. If I wanted to move out, then it wouldn't be so difficult. And you can have multiple calendars within your Google email address, so you can kind of color code things, you can share calendars with people. So any event that you possibly have to attend, or someone's invited you to, or a meeting, then that would go into the calendar. It's not a to-do because you don't have to do anything about it. It's just that that's an event that you have in your calendar. So if someone asks you at any point in time, are you available for this event, then you can go to your calendar, see what's going on, and then at that moment, at that point, you can insert that where and when. And then if you have to do something about that event, like prepare something, then that would go as a to-do, and then you set your date accordingly, perhaps a day before or a week before. These 3 tips will make your life absolutely seamless. The whole idea behind this is that everything is captured in one place, whether it's a to-do, information, or an event. That means your brain is absolutely clear and focused to deal with whatever you're dealing with in that moment. Think of your brain as a computer. If you have, for example, a processor, that's like the capacity of your brain, how fast it goes. Then you've got the memory, and then you've got RAM. RAM is like what's going on, what the amount of things that you've got in your brain right now. I need to do this, I need to go there, what's the time? And you're kind of juggling a bunch of stuff at the same time. The more of that stuff that you're juggling that you don't need to have there, like for example, I have this list of to-dos in my Apple reminders that are recurring. Every week I get a reminder, time to take out the bins. I don't have to remember it. Every Monday I have to back up some files. I get a reminder to do that. Every Wednesday there's a video coming out on our channel on Basic Suzuki. I get a reminder, make that post. I don't have to remember anything. All the things that I don't have to remember, I capture them down. They're there, they're gonna remind me on my phone, and that allows me then, wherever moment I'm in, I can just focus on that. And I know 100% to the best of my ability, I'm not gonna forget an event that I have to be at, or information that I need, or a to-do. So those are my 3 tips of productivity that I practice in my life. Let me know what you think of them below in the comments, or if you have any productivity tips yourself, I'd love to know about them. Let me know. I'd love to implement new productivity apps and things in my life. So let's start the communication, and if you liked this video, this topic, then please let me know, and I'll be happy to make more, going a bit more in depth. I'll catch you in the next video. Take care, Nerd Sing out.